It's good to be back with Buffs Prime Time. The Buffaloes coming off the bye week, sitting at 4-1. Their last ball game, of course, 2 weeks ago against Central Florida, 48-21, dominating win by the Buffs. And now we get ready for a big ball game. Number 18, Kansas State, coming to town this weekend. Late game at Folsom Field, 8:15 to kickoff. Buffs Prime Time. We got Coach Prime. Coach Mathis is going to join us, the secondary coach for the Buffaloes. Also, Preston Hodge. Coach is here, like I said. He looks rested. You look relaxed.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm definitely rested right now. A little tired.
How was the bye week?
Bye week was excellent.
Yeah.
I went down to Texas at the ranch and just had a good time. Fished, relaxed, took some long walks,
Yeah.
gathered myself, and came back with a plethora of ideas and things we need to implement to just go yet and still to another level.
Well, see, that's one thing you and I have in common is the fishing. How was the fishing?
Fishing was great.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to fish? If you had to pick one spot.
Home. I fish at the
Your home?
crib. Yeah,
Well, I know.
I got 3 lakes on property, so
Oh,
I don't go
man,
outside
see?
the gate, man. I'm good. I like home games.
See, it's good being you.
Yeah.
That's a good deal. Is it always bass down there? What do you got?
Bass,
stocked in?
bluegill, crappie.
All right. Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. You said the other day in your press conference, you said, when I'm gone, it's bad news for the coaches because I'm coming back
Right.
on fire.
Right, and they know that.
Yeah.
I mean, they know when I leave, because this is constantly on my mind. This is my life.
Sure.
So I'm consistently thinking about how we can get to the next level, how we could progress, how we could take one step closer to the goal, and they know that. So they know when I get time away, I'm coming back ready.
The mind's working.
Yeah.
Right.
Consistently.
Yeah. You know, I was joking with you when you walked in here. I said, you're 4-1, you've won 3 in a row. All of a sudden, the Buffs are a better football team. You're a better coach. It's amazing what's happened the last 3 weeks.
Unbelievable. Everybody, attached, aligned with the program, everyone looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that bother you, or
No.
is it just kind of fact of life?
I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. The thought process of the opinion of man don't necessarily advance the opinion I have of myself or anyone else. I'm going to think like I think regardless of whatever's going on in life. I come to my own conclusions about things. So whatever they say, whatever they do, it has no bearing on how I'm going to think.
Is that something, though, for the 18, 19, 20-year-old guys?
That's tough on
you
them
teach
now.
them about, right?
Yeah, I teach them about that mindset and that thought process consistently, but no, not when a phone never leaves their reach.
Yeah, you're
Not
right.
when they're checking inventory on what people think about them instead of dictating what they think about themselves.
We were all talking here before you walked in about the kind of that aspect of this world, and I get asked to come on shows and talk about, and I was on the other day with a guy, and he was going on, and I said, well, isn't that the concept of a football team? Is that we go out and try and get better every single week, right?
Right.
I mean, that's what you're doing. That's your
that's,
goal.
That's what life is.
Yeah.
In life, don't you want to get better every day? You want to be a better person every day. You're never a finished project.
Yeah.
That you always want to improve in life and your personal goals and your personal being. You always want improvement. There's no way that the conclusion of yourself that you have on yourself right now is it. You gotta improve some type of way. There's no way that you're at the finish line.
Is that something that maybe the average person doesn't understand, Prime, is the idea of the vision of the completed project and
go.
how to get there?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people don't listen to the navigational system. They think they got it.
Right.
They still buying roadmaps, man.
So what's the key to that? What's the emphasis behind it when you say, okay, I see what the vision is. Here's where I'm at. I need to get there.
Well, it has to be a plan implemented to get there. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to get there. No, it's not that simplistic. It has to be a plan implemented, and you got to be not only consistent, but you got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
There's a lot of discipline that goes along with the journey.
Yeah. What's the great line? Well, I hope I don't get this wrong. You either deal with the discipline of or the pain of regret or the pain of discipline, right?
That's right. That's true. True statement.
Yeah. And you find that as a coach as well as a player.
You find that every day as a coach, but as a player. Oftentimes, players just don't want to be held accountable, man. That's
Yeah.
the big thing. But players, when you have players that hold themselves accountable, the lesson and the teaching is truly easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That concept right there. I once had a coach tell me, he was an NBA coach, and he told me, he said, Mark, you can be a great coach, but you have to have players with that mindset.
That's right.
Right?
You got to have players with mindsets that are not there.
Yeah.
It's even when I played the game, I never felt like I was there. I never felt like I arrived. I never felt like this was my best game. I always looked at the film and critiqued myself and say, you know what? Statistically, and thoughtfully, you
Mm-hmm.
can look at the game and say he didn't give up a catch. Nobody caught a pass on him.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the film and say he had me right there.
Mm.
Darn it. He had me right there. And I'm thinking the team that we're getting ready to play is watching that film with the thought process I have.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we could do a stutter go on him right there. We had him on this whip right there, 3rd and 3. And I'm thinking that way. So I'm preparing for what I didn't dominate in the week prior. But you would have thought I did because I didn't give up a catch.
Right.
But I hold myself accountable, and I hold myself to a high standard.
I've heard you a couple of times talk about the, and you can correct me if I'm misstating this, the are you in the game aspect of when you were with the Cowboys at one point. You talked about that. Is a key for building a team finding that you've got a good nucleus of guys that are in the game so they can lift the other guys?
Yeah, well, finding guys that can flat out play. That's the number one. And
Right.
Coaches that can coach and get those players to the point that they want to be, where you know what you're going to get. You know, the goal is 7 kids, man. The goal is 7 kids on each side of the ball that we know what we're going to get on Saturday.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
Not 8, not 9, that's 11. Nobody can sit up there and say, I got 11 kids, I trust it. No, you're lying.
If you got 7, you got a majority
you
of
got
guys.
7, my God, you can win some games.
Yeah. How do you figure that out? How do you find that when you're looking at kids?
Well, first of all, it takes you got to see who's disciplined, who's direct, who's watching film, who's studying, who's prepared, who wants this, what's their why. And it's through processes like right now, what week we're in, everybody say, okay, it's week 6, week 7, whatever you call it, you know, with the bye week.
Yep.
We're in the week that we should know what we got.
Yes.
That's what I mean. Nothing should surprise us with anybody on the line.
Right.
Offensively or defensively. Linebackers, corners, nothing should surprise us. Like, we should know what we got right now. Now it's taking what we got and making sure we got more than what you got and implementing those plays and the structure of the calls and making sure we're dominant. But we should know. It shouldn't be a surprise anymore.
After 5-6 games, you are what you are.
You are what you are.
Yeah. You said something in your presser the other day, too, that you were talking about. I think you mentioned Jordan Seaton specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You said, I guess the idea was to make sure that he's not satisfied with the adulation.
Not only satisfied, to make sure you don't believe it.
Okay.
Because somebody can say, "Oh, you're doing great. You're a freshman All-American." Nobody care about that. No, you see right there, he had you. He had you.
Yeah.
You know, had Shedeur not gotten that ball off, that guy had a sack. Like you. That's the thought process instead of just building them up. And you build them up. Humpty Dumpty gonna fall sooner or later. Yeah.
It's been a couple weeks, but what was your takeaway from Central Florida that game?
The reason I truly feel like we performed that way is the unity that we shared on that trip. Just being together from Wednesday to Saturday, and the amount of time that we spent together, the amount of time that we were in the walkthroughs, the amount of time that we on the practice, the amount of time that those guys were roommates, the amount of time that they just all collaborated in one area. That's the unity is what that was.
Interesting.
And the film study, like the film times has skyrocketed. You know, it's like 2 hours mandatory each week.
Yeah.
You know, during the week. Now I'm looking at the film. It's double because we had a bye week, but you still looking at 6 hours, man. You're looking at the times are just enormous. You're like, man, wow, these guys are getting it.
Oh, so you've seen guys respond to that now with what they've done.
I've seen guys just take it to another level.
Right.
With their film study, their preparation, their communication on the field, they're calling out plays before it happens, even in the inside run and team run and all that stuff. They're doing a phenomenal job, and they're getting to know each other.
Yeah.
They really are.
You know, we knew going into this season, we've got one of the best quarterbacks in America. You've got a wide receiver room that's, unbelievably deep. You knew the explosive plays were going to be there.
Right.
Talk a little bit about how this team has improved up front and running the football.
Well, we knew what we went to get out of the portal. You could give Jordan time because he's young.
Sure.
But everyone else, you ain't got that kind of time. It's like we need that now. We don't have the kind of time to develop you right now. We got to win now. That's the day and state of mind of college football now. Coaches don't get 3 years to develop. Now,
right, yeah.
Everything is microwavable. You got to win now. And we knew what we went out in the portal to seek out with Chidozie and some of the other guys, Taufik and all that, and B.J. Green and several guys.
Yep.
We knew what the kind of pressure that we wanted to apply as well. And all of you guys are just starting to see that. We've seen that through camp. We've seen that through the spring, some of the guys. We've seen that, and we're just waiting for those guys to get to the place where they are right now that you could see that publicly.
Jordan Seaton, I mean, we knew he was a highly regarded kid coming in.
Yeah.
And boy, when you watch him, you see the hands and feet right away.
Mm-hmm.
But has he developed even quicker than you expected?
I'm not going to say quicker because
Yeah.
you got to understand Jordan is still the same guy who gave up a sack in the spring game.
Right.
On, I think, the first or second play of the game. And you start thinking, okay, hey, come on now. You guys did, but we did. We knew it's just a matter of time because you have a tremendous O-line coaches rather.
Yeah.
We have a tremendous coordinator. It is just going to be a minute before he develop and start believing in himself. But the rest of those guys are pretty darn good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have lapses like any other team, but everything here is just magnified. Like if you count our sacks up and count other teams up, I'm pretty sure nobody talks about the other teams. Everybody got their butt kicked last week, right? Didn't everybody in America get a whooping last week?
No, everybody did.
It's like grandma was walking around with a belt last week, right? Shoot.
But see, that's your world, though. That's a magnification.
Yeah.
It's the fact that
we
you're
don't
sitting
mind
in this
that.
chair.
Yeah, but we don't mind that.
Yeah.
We don't mind that. We just want you to do the same thing when we win. Give them that same acknowledgement.
Well, you know human nature, though, right?
Sure.
That
Sure
ain't going to happen. But I tell you what, right now, the Buffs are the talk of college football. The Buffs getting ready to take on Kansas State on Saturday night. Coach Mathis will be with us. Also, Preston Hodge who had an interception here the last couple of weeks. We'll talk more with Coach Prime. They'll take a time out. It's Buffs Prime Time, presented by Aflac. Back in a moment. This is Colorado football from their field. Colorado football is brought to us by the Hilton's on Canyon. Hey, you're coming to Boulder for game day? We'll stay at the Hilton's on Canyon, a proud hotel partner of the Buffaloes. One more segment with Coach Prime, Buffs and Kansas State. Number 18 Cats coming to town. Late one, 8:15. We're going to hit there at 6 o'clock in the network.
Who does that to us?
Well,
man?
Coach,
like, who does that?
I thought when we were leaving the Pac-12 we were going to have this.
Who does that? I mean, who has the power to sit up there and say, "Yeah, I'm going to make them play at 8:15"?
You know what?
Yeah.
TV networks.
But how stupid is that? Like, how stupid is that?
Well, see, this is what happens when you've got a program that everyone wants to see, though, like you do.
No, but it's not smart
Right.
for a television executive to say
Yeah.
we're going to put this game on at this time.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're thinking about eyeballs, you're thinking about selling merchandise on the commercials, you're thinking about all that. Why would you do it at that time when half of America is asleep?
We'll see. Now, you've got much more connections than I do, so you need to make a couple of phone calls.
I'm talking now. I'm talking now. None of the people I know would do nothing stupid like that.
You know, at least we're at home. We're not on the road.
True.
Because that's much worse. Because then we get home at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's right.
You know. Hey, I want to ask you about a kid. I ran into him the other day, and I did a little pregame interview with him. Chidozie Nwankwo
Chidozie.
is a fabulous young guy, isn't he?
Yep.
I mean, what a great person. I asked him, I said, how is it you can be so gregarious and nice and you're jovial, and then you walk in between.
Gregarious and jovial. You probably got to break that down to me and the kids. Let's just get that straight.
He's a really nice guy.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you.
And then you walk between the lines, and I said, you're tough, you're mean, you're nasty out there.
Right.
It's really an interesting dichotomy he's got, but he's a fascinating young man.
He really is. He's not only a good kid,
Yeah.
but he's a really good football player, and he's passionate about the game. He's given the team a couple checks and speeches that he was in tears
Wow.
giving them. And it just rattled everyone's cage because he was so passionate about it. And he's come a long way now since he first got here and understanding the lay of the land and how we function and how we get down. But that young man there is ready to play. We trust him.
Okay.
On Saturday, we know what we're going to get.
He's one of those 7 guys.
He is definitely one.
Yeah.
We know what we're going to get from him.
So we're standing there, and I said to him, because he made a vague reference to it, and I said, hey, tell me about your little girl. He's got a daughter.
Look,
And, I mean, he was smiling like you would
That's right.
and turned into a teddy bear all of a sudden.
and because he understands fatherhood. I'm not going to say all our young men were prepared for fatherhood, but
Right.
they accepted it, and they understand there's a tremendous responsibility that coincides with that. And I'm going to step up to the plate and be the best father that I could possibly be. That's who he is.
Is that the most rewarding part doing what you do? Is seeing the young guy that comes in and maybe he doesn't know, come here from
Right.
Sikkim when he first gets here. But by the time they're done, you see the growth, the maturation,
That's it.
the responsibility.
That's it. That's coaching. That's coaching. That's teaching. That's instructing. That's learning. That's advancing these young men. That's the joy that you get from it, because it doesn't give you much back. And people sitting up there thinking, "Well, you making money? Well, I can make money anywhere." I mean, I got a tremendous gifts, plural. But that right there, getting that back from these young men, is phenomenal.
Yeah. And then being a coach, you've always got those relationships.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, 20 years from now,
Yeah.
you'll take a phone call from
And-
Chidozie.
Yeah, 10 years from now or
Yeah.
5 years from now, you never know what he's going to come back and say.
Yeah.
And some may come back and say, hey, when you said this, we had D-Mac on, Dick McClendon.
Yeah.
We zoomed him in this morning
Okay.
on to talk to the whole team.
Yeah.
Because I'm still emphasizing practice, the way you practice.
Okay.
Okay, now you got D-Mac is on the practice squad for the Dolphins. He's getting compensated to practice.
Right.
I said, D-Mac, can you be hurt? No, sir. Can you not go hard? No, sir. Can you not prepare? No, sir. Can you not give it everything you got? No, sir. So explain to me what you have to do on a daily basis. I got to be 100%, coach. I got to go all out
Otherwise, he's gone.
because I'm getting paid
Yeah.
to practice.
Yeah.
He say all of you should be that way because when you get here, it's a different game because if you don't, you gone.
Yeah.
So hearing that from one of their peers that was here last year, it was phenomenal.
And that might be, and you tell me, is that the hardest thing to get a young man to understand? That every day is important.
Yes, because they don't factor in when it's over, it's over. Like right now, it's wonderful.
Right.
You know, your bills are being paid. You're eating 3 meals a day. You put a jersey that has your name on the back, the school's name's on the front, so you're representing your family as well as your school. People recognize you and all of that. You have about 5 more months or 4 more months.
That's right.
It's over.
Yeah.
If you don't apply everything that God has given you and blessed you with, you know that thing is over. So now you got to deal with, okay, I can still wear my name on the back, but I ain't going to name on the front. So that means I don't belong to nobody.
And nobody cares then.
Okay, where you going to live?
Yeah.
Money's gone. Where you going to live? Where you going to stay? Ain't no hand claps no more. Ain't nobody clapping when you get up or when you run out of there with a jersey. That stuff is over. So what are you going to do with life?
That's one of the most, I think, and talking with athletes over the years, one of the most hard to come to grips with terms. You know, the old line about there comes a time when you're not done with the game, but the game's done with you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, all the adulation, all the benefits are gone.
90% of football players and athletes, period, you don't walk away from the game. The game walks away from you.
Correct.
And you're not ready for that.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
When did you know that it was the end for you as a player?
When I didn't have the passion to dominate you.
Okay, interesting.
When I didn't have the passion to whoop you.
Yeah.
Like when I didn't want to turn on the film and study all the way up to kickoff. When I wasn't concerned about, you know, this look like. That's when I knew, okay, it's time for me to go.
So was it more the mental aspect
Mental.
or physical?
No, it was mental for me.
Okay.
It was mental for me. You know, I could have still been effective because I could have been 60% fear, 40% play. You know,
right.
You throw at me if you want to. You're going to make the tackle. All right, that's fear. But no, I know it was time to walk. Then I came back because I'm sitting at the crib just chilling. And then, you know, Ray Lewis and Corey Fuller. And, hey, man, when our DBs went down, I'm like, man, I'm sitting up here coaching my son's team. I ain't got time for that. These hamstrings on ice right now. So, but I went back because my friends and I prayed about it. And no, the door wasn't fully closed in my mind and my spirit. Right. So I went back so I could formally close the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be a tough reality to accept.
It is. It is.
Because that's all you knew forever.
Yeah, but most people go back for business reasons or they play for business reasons, financial reasons. And you don't want to do that. You get hurt doing that.
Those are the guys that aren't in the game.
Yeah.
Right?
You get hurt doing that.
Yeah. How much do you pay attention to all this stuff that's going on about 70-team leagues and all those kind of – I know there's stuff you have to know for the day-to-day.
Right.
But in terms of the evolution of the game of football in college, how much are you watching that right now?
I don't watch a lot. I mean, what I need to know, Rick does a good job of making sure I know it. I have staffers making sure I know what I need to know. The other stuff, I ain't got time for that. Yeah. Man, a lot of stuff, I just ain't got time for it, man.
Out of your control.
It ain't going to help me. It ain't going to hurt me.
Yeah.
So I ain't got time for it.
So when the reality gets here, then you got to evolve and
yeah, but I'm always around the corner now.
Right.
I'm not gonna be surprised. See, I'm always, you know, I'm in this room right now, but I'm around the corner.
Right, I understand.
Right.
So K-State's coming in here. Before I ask you kind of about the team, one of the interesting aspects of modern football is the whole transfer thing. You got guys coming in. So when a guy like Dylan Edwards this weekend, you see him out here. What do you think about that? What do you feel about it?
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always happy if you're happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy if you're happy.
Okay.
Like, I don't want you to ever be in a situation where you're unhappy, you don't have peace. So I'm happy if he's happy. I know he was unhappy for a minute here, and because he wanted some things that it just wasn't gonna happen. You know, at your age and stage, you got to develop into that.
Right.
So I was happy that he finally made a decision to do what he needed to do to make sure he brings peace into his life.
I would think, too, you bring a different perspective to this because that's commonplace in the NFL. You play with a guy, and the next year you're facing a guy, right? So that's different. This is new to college, but that was old. That's old hat for you.
Yeah, it wasn't new to us at Jackson. I mean, a lot of the things that we're doing right now, we already did them.
Okay.
We flipped rosters at Jackson. We turned it around and did it, you know, a year later at Jackson. Like a lot of things that we're doing here that is new to this fan base, we've done it. So that's why we don't hit the panic button and break the glass in case of emergency. We straight.
I've heard you answer this before, but I want to ask you because I think the viewers and listeners would get a kick out of it. When people say, "Well, Prime, you flipped the roster," Where's the chemistry at within all that? How do you respond
Oh,
to that?
you know, I always say,
Right.
I always say, I say a couple things.
Right.
Are you talking about with the adults? And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
it. See, kids don't need that. Adults do. Adults, when you go to their jobs, you know, they're the ones not speaking to one another. They're in a cubicle. You don't even speak to
Yes.
the new guy in the cubicle or the new secretary or whatever. You just let them sit there because you jealous and envious, all that. You drop your kid off at nursery. You take them to a new nursery the next week. You come back the second day. They know everybody.
They got best friends.
Yeah, kid, little Jimmy spend the night. You just met little Jimmy. Yeah, but he's my friend. Kids do that. Adults don't because you're so scarred and beat up from past experiences. So kids make friends quickly.
Yeah.
Adults don't.
We've got biases. They don't.
Yeah,
Right.
and prejudices.
And prejudice,
yeah,
exactly
and,
right.
And shortcomings.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, kids don't look at shortcomings.
All right. Kansas State. Pretty darn good football team you got coming in.
Well coached.
Yeah.
Good team. Reminds you a lot of North Dakota State. I mean, a lot of the coaches, the staff came from there.
That's right.
But they're not going to beat themselves. They're not going to beat themselves. They're not going to defeat themselves. We're going to have to do that for them. Good quarterback, could run tremendously, could throw the ball as well. Tight ends are phenomenal, and they utilize them. They go through them more so than the receivers. Two backs, and that's including Dylan, that can really run the football. And defense, they're fundamentally sound. I mean, it's nothing glaring
Right.
on the defense. Say, okay, I got to do that. No. Those guys do their jobs well collectively.
Yeah. And right now, a game like this is one of those ball games the way that we're playing right now, the way they play. These are teams that don't beat themselves.
These are but also special teams got to be special.
Sure.
On both sides, special teams got to be special. So I always challenge Mate. I challenge Mala. You got to win your matchups. You got to win those. Shador, you got to win your matchup.
Yeah.
You know, defensive line, offensive line, the same, vice versa. And somebody's gonna make a mistake. Somebody's gonna be forced with that pressure. Is gonna make a mistake. Thank God that we're at the crib. We're home.
That's right. Amen.
And we're gonna apply it.
All right. 8:15 kickoff. Will you take a nap during the day?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Because I'm an early guy.
Right.
I got to take a nap just to be up that late. 8:15 is usually when I'm tucking in.
Because you're not getting home till 1 in the morning after this whole thing's
I'm
over.
tucking in. I'm usually going to bed at 8:15. Now I got to wake up and play.
Were you always an early to bed guy?
Not when I play baseball.
Oh, I was going to say
baseball,
yeah.
I flipped it.
Oh, yeah.
Football, yeah.
Yeah,
Baseball, I was a late guy.
You can't because it's the craziest schedule.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but you love it though
Yeah.
because you got to be to work at what 4?
That's right.
Right?
That's right. You can sleep in the morning.
You can sleep in the noon
Yeah.
if you want.
Love it.
Yeah.
Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thank you. I can't wait to see you talk to those other guys. They're
yeah.
delightful.
Coach Mathis and we got Preston Hodge
Yeah,
coming in.
get
Yes.
more than 10 words out of Preston. Good luck.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
that doesn't give me any
Yeah,
confidence. for the
good luck
American.
on that one.
All right. Well, Preston Hodge is coming up in a few minutes. That's Coach Prime. He and the Buffs take on K-State on Saturday night. We're back in a moment. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Prime time here at the Champion Center. And you know what? I dropped my glasses someplace and I realized I can't read these sponsors because I can't see what. what That's a bad. Listen, the whole thing is just falling apart right here, right now because we were supposed to have Kevin Mathis. Look at this. Reed's crawling on the ground right now, getting him my glasses because I dropped them here a moment ago. Let me tell you this Colorado football is brought to us by Eco Products. This is the behind the scenes stuff that normally we don't have cameras, you don't get a chance to see. But like in the broadcast on Saturdays, you don't get a chance to see this kind of stuff. Sometimes, what's the old line about you don't want to see how sausage is made? You're getting a look at it right now. Eco Products. Every stadium generates some food waste on game days, but thanks in part to certified compostable packaging from Boulder-based Eco Products, the dedicated team at Folsom Field is able to turn a lot of that food and the packaging it comes in into compost instead of Eco Products. He's proud once again to be the official zero waste partner of the Colorado Buffaloes. It's Buffs Prime Time, brought to us by Aflac, of course, and folks at Aflac help with expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. Visit aflac.com to learn more. Waiting on Coach Mathis, the quarterbacks coach for the Buffaloes. Right now, the Buffaloes. Listen, I'm not breaking any news here. I don't know if there's a better set of corners in America right now. Travis Hunter, that goes without saying. By the way, I got to give a shout out to Mark Kisla from the Denver Gazette the other day, who came up with one of the great lines that I've ever heard when he said the Colorado Buffaloes have got three of the best players in America in college football, and Travis Hunter's two of them. What a great comment, the way he's playing right now. Of course, right now, Travis being a top contender for the Biletnikoff Wide Receiver Award, also the Thorpe Defensive Back Award, and playing phenomenal. But the way Travis Hunter and DJ McKinney is playing on the other side, the Oklahoma State transfer, I mean, the set of corners. I think you can throw Preston Hodge in there as a nickel as well, playing as well as any set of corners in college football right now. And so Kevin Mathis is going to join us, we hope. We were told just moments ago that he was going to be rolling out in here, and so we'll get the quarterbacks coach for the Buffaloes and hopefully get him in a few minutes, and also Preston Hodge, who had an interception, of course, just a couple of games ago. And so we're looking forward to talking with those guys. In this ball game this weekend with Kansas State coming in, again, that's an 8:15 kickoff between the Buffs and the Cats. We're going to hit the air out on Duane Field at 6 o'clock and meet Gary Barnett. Andy Lindahl will be with us in the sideline this week. Come by and see us. We'll be out there for the first hour and 10 minutes or so. A little bit different game. You don't think that secondary is probably going to be tested as much as they would in other games because of the way that Kansas State runs the football. As we talked with Coach Prime just a few minutes ago here, Kansas State comes in as a top 10 rushing team in the country. So a little similar to what we saw a couple of weeks ago with Central Florida when they were the number one rushing team in America. K-State comes in. They're averaging 252 yards per ball game, top 10 in the country. Prime mentioned Avery Johnson, a very mobile quarterback. And he's a kid out of Wichita, just a sophomore, so he runs it well. DJ Giddens averaging 120 yards per game, and then Dylan Edwards as well. The Buffs know him, of course, very well, the former Buff now, who's also in the mix in the rushing attack. And so I know that secondary might not get tested as completely as maybe they did against Baylor a few weeks ago, but going to be a very physical ball game. That defensive front has played well against the run, certainly did, holding Central Florida a couple of weeks ago at about half of their productivity on the ground. And they're going to get a great challenge, I think, again on Saturday. Tell you what, we're getting indication off camera here that just maybe we'll get one of the two guys to come in here. Let's go ahead and take another commercial break. We'll come back, and if we have to stack the two of them on top of each other, Coach Mathis and Preston Hodge will do that as we continue here from the Champion Center. It's Buffs Prime Time presented by Aflac. Back in a moment. This is Colorado football from Learfield. CU, we're proud to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. It's one of the many reasons Colorado is our favorite place to be. What makes it your favorite? Share your love for Colorado at lovecolorado.com. I got to go to that website and find out. You just love. It's not necessarily about CU, is it, Reed, or is it all about the state of Colorado? It's about everything Colorado. Okay. Well, anyway, go there. Back on Buffs Prime Time. Hey, we're happy. We're lucky right now. We were talking about Preston Hodge maybe coming in. We're going to go entirely the opposite side of the football. LeJontay Wester here at the Champion Center. We found him wandering around the hallway, and you're kind enough to come in and join us. How are you?
I'm great, and you?
Well, thanks for jumping in here.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Yeah. How was your bye week? What'd you do?
I just went home and watched my little cousins play. You know, one in high school and one still playing little league. So
Okay.
it was good to see them go out there and perform and have fun. Yeah.
Well, what's that like going back to a high school game? I mean, you're a major college football player. You're having a phenomenal season. You go back and watch the high schoolers. What's that like?
I mean, it's great, man. You can see the development of the younger guys and the younger generation. And it's always good to come back home. You know, you get the love and support from other players and
Yeah.
old-time friends. So, I mean, overall, it was a good trip back home.
Isn't it funny though, LeJontay? You go back now when you played high school football, man. You thought you guys were balling out.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go back and the game seems slow, doesn't it?
Real slow, like real slow, man. But yeah, that just shows you the different levels of the game.
Yeah.
It's levels to it for real. So
Was it good? Now you guys here, you're sitting at 4-1.
mm-hmm.
You won 3 games in a row. You guys are playing phenomenal football right now.
Exactly.
And you think to yourself, well, man, if we take a break, I don't want to break the momentum,
Exactly.
but you want to,
Get our body back.
get your body back and your mind right?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Yeah, I was more so on the other side, like, man, let's keep this ball rolling. But yeah, it was a good bye week for us to get our bodies back together, get back healthy, recover, and prepare too as well. Because
Yeah.
we got a big game on Saturday, so they're a tough opponent. So it gave us more time to study them on film and watch them on film and see what they like to do as well. So overall, it was a good break.
Is it true at this level of football, because it's such a physically demanding game, you're never really healthy during a season, are you? You're always kind of banged
Yeah.
up, but there's a difference between an injury and
And a
being sore. Right?
boo-boo.
Yeah, and a boo-boo, right? Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
No boo-boo. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're never gonna be totally 100% during the season, just because of how physical the game is and what's asked of you. You know, and you always want to be the best in what you do. So, you know, you're gonna go the distance, even past practice, just to make sure that you're on top of your game.
We were talking with Coach Prime earlier in the show, and he talked about having D-Mac on
Mm-hmm.
video for you guys here to talk, to hear him talk about being in a practice squad and showing up every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're an upperclassman? You're an older guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that one of the things that's harder for a young player to understand? Is that it does take that commitment every single day?
Yes, that's one thing that even when I was a freshman, I had to really like hone in on and learn like how much practice meant. Like not even now, like I get mad at my coach sometimes, Coach Phil, when he try to hold me out of practice or something before a game. Like, man, I need those reps. Like, just because for me, it just makes me more confident going into the game.
Yeah.
You know, I done seen these type of looks throughout the week, so when it comes to the game, it gets real easy. So I really value practice.
When years ago, when Philip Lindsay, who played,
Mm-hmm.
the NBA or NFL rather for a number of years, and is a great Colorado Buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
I remember talking to him when he became an upperclassman. I said, what does it mean to be a professional, and approach this from a professional standpoint? And he talked about the care of your body being right between the ears, right? I mean, you're dialed in. And he said, I wish I knew that when I was a freshman and a sophomore. Have you found the same thing?
Yes, I definitely do. Like, if I was, but then again, at the same time, I had some good upperclassmen that kind of showed me the ropes of what I need to be doing, how I need to be taking care of my body, how I need to be attacking every day, every practice. So, I mean, it's the same, but it's different. I kind of learned it like my freshman year, like coming into my freshman year, but I mean, it's the same, but it's different.
You transferred here from Liberty.
FAU.
From FAU, I beg your pardon.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
thinking it's one of your teammates. You came here from FAU. What drew you here to Colorado?
Just the experience level, like coaching wise, the players. I mean, Travis,
Yeah.
Shador, you name it. Like we have it all. The attraction that this program brings for the scouts coming in and day out, celebrities, like you can network and build so many relationships with so many people around
Yeah.
here. So it's just bigger than football here. So that's another thing that kind of attracted me here. And of course, Shador, like
Well, I was going to ask you,
Of
Liberty.
course.
I guess I was thinking Preston came from Liberty. You came from FAU.
Mhm.
I would have. Well, the position you play, it's
Mhm.
quarterback dependent.
exactly,
So you want to come and play for a guy that is going to get you the ball, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Is there a better quarterback in college football?
No, not even no.
And you don't even
question.
hesitate when you say that.
It's not even no question to me. You got good quarterbacks like Cam Ward out there
Yeah.
that's playing pretty good ball right now. But in my eyes, man, Shador, whoever y'all want to call him, he that guy, man. He the best in my eyes. So.
When you play the position you do, there's a confidence you have, and you know if you get open, he's going to find you, right?
Yes, definitely. That's
Yeah.
why I came here. Like I know, okay, at FAU, I was missed a lot of times when
Okay.
I was open. So I knew coming here, like if I just get open and do my job, he gonna find me.
Yeah.
So this was an easy move for me.
What's it like having your brother on the team?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Tell me, he's an exciting young player,
yeah,
isn't he?
he's fun.
Huh?
He's the exciting one out of our family, like the one dancing, always joy, high energy.
Okay.
So I mean, it's fun, man. It's a blessing to be able to play this level of football with him.
Yeah. And Gary Barnett, who the former coach who
Mhm.
joins me in the broadcast, told me early in the season, he goes, LeJohntay's going to make a lot of plays on offense, but he said his younger brother's coming. He said
Yeah.
he's a playmaker over there.
Only a matter of time. That's
Yeah.
what I kept telling him. Like only a matter of time.
Who's the better athlete between the two of you?
I feel like we both good at what we do.
Is that right?
Yeah, he play defense and he good at that, and I'm good at offense and
Yeah.
I'm good at that. you know.
Yeah. Did you ever play defensively? Must have been high school, didn't you?
Just 7-on-7, nothing,
Okay.
nothing in pads. I was never needed on that side of the ball, like on my team. So
Yeah.
I just did that on 7-on-7 just for fun, stay active.
Were you ever, Coach Prime was such a multi-sport athlete. Were you ever a multi-sport athlete?
Just basketball,
Okay.
Other than football, just basketball.
Okay. Give us a thought about this game. This is a big ball game coming up on Saturday
Mm-hmm.
now. Number 18, Kansas State comes in. It's going to be a physical team you're going to play against. Give us a thought about this game.
This game definitely gonna be big. I mean, Kansas State coming in, ranked 18 in the whole nation. But I feel like we're playing our best ball right now. All we got to do is eliminate our mistakes, penalties, and come out there and play our best ball, and we'll become victorious.
How much better can you guys get? I mean, you're improving every week. This
Mhm.
team's gotten better and better and better. Have we even scratched the surface of how good this team can be?
Nah, not yet.
Yeah.
I feel like UCF game was a kind of eye opener for the world to see, like, okay, they can hang with the best, they can beat the best.
Yeah.
And we felt like that wasn't even our full best game yet. We didn't really play a full game yet. It's still some stuff that we got to clean up, but at the end of the day, I feel like we're playing our best ball right now. If we keep worrying about us and preparing and being the best us we can be, we're going to win.
Love it. Hey, appreciate you coming and pinch
Thank
hitting
you.
here today.
Yes, sir. No
Outstanding
problem.
job. LeJohntay Wester here. The Buffaloes have got Kansas State coming up on Saturday night. Once again, it's a late game on Saturday, 8:15 p.m. We're going to hit the air at 6 o'clock with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show for LeJohntay, for Coach Prime. We'll be back next week with Buffs Prime Time, but make sure you get out to Folsom Field on Saturday nights as the Buffs will take on the Cats. This has been Colorado Football from Learfield.